Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, ACCUPLACER Review, Arithmetic, Problem 30. This is the Arithmetic ACCUPLACER Review, Problem 30. It says if a state income tax rate is 5.95%, how much tax would a resident pay on taxable income of $16,000? Well, if you have a calculator handy, which you don't for the ACCUPLACER Review, the 5.95% as a decimal could be written 0.0595, and you'd multiply it times 16,000. And of course you could do this with pencil and paper, but it would be pretty tedious. This is something I'd want to do with a calculator. But since I have four options to choose from, I can see which one is most sensible pretty quick. 5.95% is too difficult for me to really estimate, but 5% is very easy. So 10% are the easiest, 10% and 1%. So 10% of $16,000 would be 10%. You just get rid of one of the zeros. It would be 1,600. Now we're not looking for 10%. We're looking for something close to 5%. So if 10% is 1,600, 5% would be half of the 10%, or 800. Now none of my options are 800, but it zeroes me in pretty close to B. So 5.95% is a little more than 5%, and the 952 is a little bit more than 800. And you can even put in another percent to estimate it, get it pretty close. 5% of 16,000, I said, would be $800. Again, I took the 10% of 16,000, which is 1,600, and half of 10% is 5%, half of 1,600 is 8%. So 1% of 16,000 for 1%, 10% you eliminate 1 0, 1% you eliminate 2, it's 160. So 5%, 1% is 6%, which is really close to 5.95%. It's not exactly the same, but really close. 800 plus 160 is 960. So 6% is a tiny bit more than 5.95%. 960 is a tiny bit more than option B, which is 952. So because they have the options listed for me, pretty quickly I can see that the answer has to be option B. Again, to get an exact answer, if you have a calculator, what you would do is write your 5.95% as 0.0595 and multiply it times the 16,000, and your calculator will give you $952 right away. But since you can't use a calculator on the ACCUPLACER exam, for the arithmetic portion of it anyway, the easiest way to do it is make a pretty quick estimate and match it up as close as you can to which option you have.